News. Senator Lee, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Davis, I've long been concerned about the targeting of adult-themed ads to minors because adult content or sexually suggestive content has unique psychological effects on minors. I think it should be addressed when we're talking about teen mental health. And so my first question to you is, does Facebook, and by Facebook here I mean Facebook and Instagram, allow these businesses to target their advertisements to children using your platform, children who are between the ages of 13 and 17? I just need a yes or a no answer on that. Do you allow businesses to target those kinds of advertisements to kids between 13 and 17?
Thank you, Senator. If you'll allow me to explain how we do advertisements on our app, I think that would be helpful to answering your question.
I'd like a yes or a no. If you need a sentence to add to that, that's fine. But I would like a yes or a no, and you can take a sentence or so to do it. But I've got a lot of content I want to cover.
So when we do ads to young people, there are only three things that an advertiser can target around: age, gender, and location. We also prohibit certain ads to young people, including weight loss ads. And one of the reasons that we're so invested in looking at things like Instagram Youth is to try to create more age-appropriate experiences.
Okay. So you do
parents control.
You do allow some businesses to target their advertisements to young children. I get that. I'd like a yes or a no on this one also. And I really just need you to work with me on this because we need to get through material. I'm not trying to play gotcha. I just need you to give me a yes or a no. If you need a sentence to explain, that's fine. Does Facebook collect data? Do either Facebook or Instagram collect data or assign interest of adult-related material to the profiles of children using your platform? And by adult-related material, I mean, things not limited to sexually suggestive content, but also things like, cigarettes, alcohol, or other things that are that would be considered more appropriately themed to adults.
So, Senator, thank you for your question. We don't allow. Let me answer certain parts of it as directly as I can here. We don't allow tobacco ads at all. We don't allow them to children either. We don't allow alcohol ads to minors. We also have policies against some of the kind of content that you're referring to. So, for example, we don't allow adult.
Keep in mind this question.
You're minors on our platform.
You're answering a different question than the one I asked, but we've got to move on because I've got limited time. Does Facebook and does Instagram allow businesses to target children on your platforms with advertisements that are sexually suggestive, sexually explicit, or that contain other adult themes or products?
Senator, I'd have to understand more what you mean, but we don't allow young people to see certain types of content, and we have age gating around certain types of content. I'd have to see specifically what you're talking about, and I'd be happy to follow up with you for sure.
So what's the process then for determining what advertisements are age appropriate and permitted by Facebook to be targeted at children?
There are categories of ads that we don't allow for young people. So I mentioned a few of them: tobacco, alcohol, weight loss products. I'd be happy to get you the full list.
I would very much like to see that. I think that would be important to have, and I also hope that in our follow-up you can also let us know what data you are collecting about the interests that your users have in those age groups. Now, I hear countless stories about how platforms, including Instagram, but by no means limited to Instagram, can facilitate child exploitation, as well as easy access to pornography. Each of these platforms have an app that's available through the Apple App Store and the Google Play App Store, which have an age rating guide to guide consumers to what's considered age-appropriate content. For example, for Apple, on Apple's App Store, Instagram and Facebook are rated for children 12 and up. And on Google Play, Instagram and Facebook are both rated T for teen. Is the 12 plus rating from Apple and the teen rating from Google, is the recommendation that Facebook made to Apple and Google for suggesting the app rating? In other words, did those age ratings come from Facebook? Yeah, I can't hear you. I think you're on mute. Can you unmute? I need you to unmute.
Sorry about that, Senator. This is not necessarily my area of expertise, but I'll answer to the best to my understanding. We don't submit the age and say this is the age of our app. We actually submit a form that we fill out, and then an app rating is assigned to our app.
Assigned by whom? By the app stores?
This is not exactly my area of expertise, so I'm probably not the best person to answer you, but I am happy to get more information. I think it's an interesting line of questioning, and I don't mean to not be able to answer for you.
Okay. Well, a lot of these questions that I'm asking relate to the fact that due to the allegations that we're hearing about today about problematic content, including content that is sexually explicit or suggestive, or in some cases adult-themed, if not sexually explicit or suggestive. In light of the fact that that content does exist, and why is there such a disparity between the app's rating on the one hand and the content that's available on the platform on the other? And what are you doing to promote appropriate age ratings and transparency about the content that's on your platforms, taking into account that you've got a whole lot of teenage and child users and that not all of that content is appropriate for them?
Senator, I'm glad you're asking this question, because as a parent, this is one of the things that I thought about quite a bit in relation to raising my teenage daughter in terms of access to particularly to sexually suggestive content, as well as content that I thought could, across media and social media broadly, impact her sense of her own body image and well-being. And one of the things that we committed to when we paused Instagram Youth was actually giving parents supervisory tools in relation to their teen that's on Instagram, in part for exactly what you're talking about, which is to give them the ability to better manage their child's experience, to have visibility into it, to actually potentially control portions and meaningfully control that their child's experience, and certainly to give them the visibility to set boundaries.
Right. But on the existing apps have an age rating. And so I really would like to know whether you recommended those age ratings, and regardless of whether you recommended them, whether you think those are appropriate given the availability of content that's not suitable for children.
We do not recommend those ratings, and we are very focused on building age-appropriate experiences. It's why we're investing in AI and it's why we're looking at Instagram Youth, and it's actually why we've put these supervisory tools, are going to be launching these supervisory tools in Instagram, because like you, we care very much that parents can help determine what their child should see and not see.
Okay, I'm out of time, but I want to just leave you with a parting question. Are those ratings appropriate? Say Apple's rating, 12 and up. Are they appropriate for Facebook, for Instagram, or any other platform like them? Well, there's not really another platform like them, but if there were, a platform that, like Facebook and Instagram, does allow for minors to access, and in some cases, be targeted using material that's not appropriate for children. So are those age ratings appropriate?
Senator, I would really love for you to invite Apple to answer those questions. And I'd love to hear from Apple on their child
believe
safety
me,
efforts
I've
as
asked
well.
Apple this
We've
question
invested
many times.
heavily
I've had
in the
many
issue.
conversations with Apple, and I will continue to have conversations with Apple. But I'm asking your opinion as a Facebook executive.
I don't have visibility into the decisions that they make, but what we do have control over is building age appropriate experiences, and that's what we're trying to do. So we're trying to actually develop experiences where parents have supervisory control, where under the age of 13 we can actually ensure age appropriate content. We're putting in policies in place on our apps who are 13 and over to ensure that kids don't have access to inappropriate content. This is all part of our ongoing work and our commitment to families.
The term attractive nuisance, and a term used in the common law, keeps coming to mind. I wish we could talk more about attractive nuisances, but my time has expired. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, Senator Lee.